Hello, my name is Richard Gallion and I will be the instructor today. I am a BSN nurse, currently a nurse practitioner school for a master's degree. I also hold another master's degree in a non-nursing related study. I'm a nutritionist by Colorado standards and also the director of nursing for Voyager Home Health Care. And today we will be talking about correct hydration. There's a lot of misconceptions about hydration. Here's some fun facts. 2/3 of our bodies are composed of water. You might have known that, but did you know 20% of our bones are composed of water as well? Our bodies are important, and so is water. Water is needed to transport all of our nutrients, hormones, and waste. For example, we need water to both transport food through our bodies and to properly absorb our nutrients. Chronic dehydration can lead to constipation and stomach diseases. This is one example. However, every organ in our body needs water to survive. The more water we have, the more efficient our bodies work. One example would be that if we don't have enough water, not only is that super difficult for us to metabolize our food, a lot of our electrolytes move from water into and out of our system. If you're too dehydrated, like I said, constipation can happen. And there's two parts of that. One is the stool can become very hard and excess water softens the stool. And the second is we need water to lubricate our balls. And if they're not lubricated, it's very hard for those fecal matter to come through. So it's extremely important for our clients to be well hydrated. Dehydration can be painful. Did you know that? Chronic joint pain, headaches, stomach ulcers, to name just a few, come from dehydration. So we really have to think about this with ourselves and our clients. We cannot ever have our clients dehydrated at any point. It can bring about confusion and other symptoms. And if we saw these symptoms, headaches, joint pain, stomach ulcers, we might think that something's going on and more medications could be given or more thorough vetting would occur. But it could all be just because we're not doing proper hydration, and there's never an excuse for not being hydrated. Are you tired often? Is a client tired often? One reason might be because they're dehydrated. Research states that 1.5% reduction in the water of your body and the water that your body needs can lead to reduced cognitive function, headaches, and fatigue. A 3% drop of water can cause fuzzy thinking and affects your metabolism. A 5% loss can cause 25 to 30% loss of energy. That is huge, huge. Once again, our clients need to be hydrated. Dehydration can hurt asthma sufferers. How much water is enough? Well, water requirements vary from individual to individual and are based upon a few factors such as activity level. The basic rule is to take your body weight, divide it by 2. That will be the number of ounces you need to drink each day. You can divide this number by 8 to get the number of 8-ounce glasses you need to drink. For example, if one of our clients weighed 160 pounds, you could divide that by 2, which is 80 ounces. That's how much water a client needs to drink in a day, minimum. If you divide that by 8, you can get how many 8-ounce glasses of water you'll need, which for a 160-pound client would be 10. So a 160-pound client needs 10 8-ounce glasses of water a day. But maybe you're the employee and you want to know how many glasses of water you need, but you like to run marathons or you're super active. It's based upon your activity level as well, so you would need more water. Why is this important to you? Well, if you want to be the best worker and if you want our clients to do very well, they need to be hydrated. Our clients cannot perform at their body's highest abilities if they're dehydrated. Hydration means more activity. Hydration means better cognitive function. Hydration means just overall health. People can actually get sick by being dehydrated. Fevers can actually be broke by being hydrated. Hydration is needed to have homeostasis in the body. Hydration is so important. There's people that actually die from being dehydrated. It is a huge issue with the geriatric population that there is essentially water suicides or death by water or lack thereof. Everyone keeps wondering, why is this client not doing well? Why is the cognitive function down? And they just think that the client's passing on or getting ill. But in reality, it could just be water and dehydration. I've worked with a client before that just could barely move, could barely get up, and the nurses thought, this client is leaving, it's the end of the lifespan. And the client wasn't drinking water, but no one also was offering the client water. They just supposed the client didn't need it because the client wasn't asking. I sat there and just kept giving the client water over and over again, so often, little sips, and it only took a few hours, and that client was just 100% back to normal, eating food, drinking water, talking to me. And you could have lost that client, and you could have thought that other things are happening. So the first thing you do is making sure that that client gets the proper hydration. So what about yourself as an employee? Well, what if you're an athlete? If you want to be better at your athletic abilities, if you want to do better when you work out, you want to be better overall and more energy, make sure you're properly hydrated. A good indicator of a healthy individual's hydration status is the color of your urine. Now, this is a healthy individual. Some people and some diseases may make this different, but in general, clear or very light yellow urine likely states a good hydration level. Yellow to dark yellow is a big sign of dehydration. Amber colored urine means you need to drink water now. That is serious. Be careful about what you drink. What you need is water, not pop or caffeine. Caffeine is like alcohol. It is a diuretic, which means your body's ability to absorb water is hindered while you have caffeine or alcohol. You essentially just pee it out. You might have noticed this, you're out, you're partying a little bit, you're drinking, or you drink a lot of caffeine, and you notice you're just peeing all the time. Well, you're not getting those fluids, or you're at least being hindered in the absorption of those fluids, because you're essentially just peeing it out. Great tips to stay hydrated. Well, the first tip is drink more water. We should always be offering our clients water all the time, especially if it's a client that is unable to communicate. The client should always have water. We should always have a full glass. Every 30 minutes, we should be offering the client water if they drink it. And if the client's not drinking, we need to find out why, or figure out what we need to do, or try a different type of drink. Maybe they don't find it tasty. Maybe if it's Alzheimer's, dementia, we have to step away, come back in 5 minutes, but we need to make sure that proper hydration is going on. And if you need 10 glasses, 8-ounce glasses of water a day, essentially you're getting 1 8-ounce glass every hour you're awake. It's a little bit less than that. Maybe it's every hour and a half, but we're not trying to do under par. I'd rather be overhydrated and have excess urine than not at all. And a client that maybe wears briefs, another way to see if there's dehydration if the client's not urinating often. Once you start working with a client and you're working with a hydrated client, you start realizing that they have a steady stream of urine. And if you're noticing that they're not having that urine, or they wake up in the morning and they're really dry and you're not seeing that urine come often, or that urine has a smells, or it's very potent, they're probably dehydrated. And you need to realize that dehydration can cause other issues as well, such as UTIs. One of our body's natural response to prevent UTIs is flushing our system. And when we aren't properly hydrated, we're not getting a proper flush going on through our urinary tract, and things are sitting around. And if there's bacteria going through that, like E. coli, and it's not being flushed out efficiently, it has more opportunity to stick and to grow and to create a UTI. And when you're younger or an adult, you have some extra defenses not to get a UTI, but dehydration is a huge factor of UTIs, that and not being changed often. There's different things you can do to add to your dehydration, like you can add D-mannose, which is a sugar, and D-mannose is a sugar that actually can't be metabolized by the human body. And what D-mannose does, and you can put that in water, is that it constantly flushes your bladder. And 90% of all UTIs are caused by E. coli. And essentially, E. coli, for one reason or another, gets into the bladder and it wants to connect to that bladder wall. Then it wants to replicate itself, and as it grows and more E. coli is thus created and it multiplies, that's when you get a UTI. And if the UTI isn't treated, it can move all the way back to the kidneys. Well, D-mannose, which works on E. coli, in an E. coli UTI, not all UTIs, but that's still about 90% of all UTIs. What D-mannose does is it makes it so nothing can attach to the bladder wall. So when you urinate, you just pee out all that E. coli, and it can prevent and even cure UTIs. So we really like to use D-mannose as our home health care, natural homeopathic way to prevent UTIs. But really, it's about hydration. D-mannose helps, but we really need to be focusing on proper hydration, correct hydration, and good hydration levels to prevent that in the beginning. And of course, if the client either needs to go to the bathroom on their own and that works out, but if they're using adult diapers, what we like to call them is briefs, we need to be changing those often. First of all, it's just respect. Second of all, it's dignity. And third of all, it's just, that would be gross. Why would you ever want to sit in your own urine? It can cause a lot of different disadvantages with health. You can have more chances of UTI, like we stated, pressure ulcers. You can have rashes. It's just not what we want, and we are about the highest quality. So make sure that the clients are getting changed. And even if the clients go to the bathroom on their own and you're just assisting, make sure you're checking that they didn't urinate on themselves. So moving on from that, we talked about the caffeine, and we talked about what that could do to your body, essentially just being a diuretic. Now, another important aspect is you want to drink water consistently throughout the day, not just large quantities at random times when I remember the client didn't drink a lot of water, so let's just do a bunch of gulps now. The most efficient way for your body to absorb water is to just be consistently drinking it throughout the day. If you wait till you're already thirsty, guess what? You're dehydrated. Don't wait till your body tells you that you're really thirsty. You need to just be drinking. Water also follows electrolytes. Your body will move electrolytes to where they are needed. Water will readily follow these electrolytes, which helps your hydration status. What does that mean to you? Well, essentially what happens is electrolytes, sodium, magnesium, potassium, other electrolytes, especially sodium, wherever sodium goes, water follows. So what your body will do is essentially bring sodium to different body parts, organs, in your blood when you need to be more hydrated, and that water will rapidly follow. Well, that's why they made sports drinks in the first place, because they realized that people were getting hydrated with water, but if you could add some electrolytes into a sports drink, you actually get hydrated much faster. However, you don't need sports drinks all the time, and sports drinks themselves can be bad. They can have chemicals in it, they could have fillers, high levels of sugars that aren't really good for you. Now, there's good sports drinks, there's terrible sports drinks, there's moderate sports drinks. Sometimes you have to go with it. Another way you can do with sports drinks is have half sports drink or half juices and fill the rest with water. And juices are okay as well, but you gotta think, you want natural juices. Some of those juices you get from Target, Walmart, they're just sugar water. There's nothing healthy about it. Even if it says 100% juice, it's just a bunch of sugar water. The majority of your fluids need to be water. Those sports drinks are not bad. What you really need is that water, because you can consume the majority of your electrolytes from the food you eat. Though as stated, sports drinks are not bad, but it really depends on the person. If you are a marathon runner, sports drinks might be something that you need. Now, if you're a completely sedentary life, sports drinks are not that bad. Sometimes clients just like the taste. They don't want to just drink plain water, so you can do half and half sports drink. Sometimes we want our clients more hydrated, so we do sports drinks. But think about what you're using and do it in moderation as well. Sometimes you can use a sports drink. Sometimes you could use orange juice, apple juice, Sometimes you can just put some sort of flavor, like magnesium, into the water, that if the magnesium is flavored, such as Calm. And sometimes you just want to do plain water, but it depends on the client as well. If you have a client that just doesn't usually drink plain water, well, you gotta do what you need to stay hydrated. And if that means doing sports drinks often, then that's what we have to do, because hydration is the most important key. But, be smart about the sports drinks. You don't want to do something like Red Bull. You'd rather do something like vitamin water and maybe mix it half and half with water. Another thing, if you have it, you can mix Calm and maybe some lemon essential oils, maybe some organic lemon juice. Get creative with this. Milk or milk alternatives are also a great alternative sports drinks. Milk is actually the biggest sports drink and best sports drinks you can ever have in terms of getting rapidly hydrated. For instance, if you have a kid who's just throwing up and sick at home, even better than a sports drink would be giving milk or milk alternatives, such as almond milk, cashew milk, coconut milk, goat's milk. Natural juices, like we said, are good as well, or water additives such as Calm. One of the cheapest way you can turn ordinary water into a sports drink and make it highly absorbable is adding a pinch of salt, preferably sea salt, even better Himalayan salt, just a pinch, not much, and if possible, some lemon or lime juice. Now you just made a sports drink. You put sodium and lemon and lime juice, which has other nutrients, and when you drink that will go straight into your veins. It will just hydrate you so fast, even better than a sports drink, and it's healthy as well. So keep that in mind for yourself. If you ever feel dehydrated, or if a client seems dehydrated and you need to work something out in a pinch, add a little salt. Also then add some lemon or lime juice if you have it, and give that to the client if you have nothing else. Also, another important note, your kidneys and liver detox your body, but they need a lot of water to do that efficiently. So whenever you have a situation where, especially with medications, that can hinder and kind of build up and slow down your kidney and liver, because your kidney and liver is trying to get rid of those medications as it's going through your body. So make sure you're super hydrated when you're taking these medications. When you're taking those medications, you want to make sure you're hydrated, because your liver and your kidneys are detoxing your body. Super important. Other things that you need to realize is that we are very serious about hydration at Voyager. It doesn't matter if the client can't speak themselves, have dementia, have Alzheimer's, or the client is completely with it. We need to be offering water, and we need to be offering water on a regular basis. Even if it's kind of annoying. Every hour to a client, you can just come up with new things like, oh, hey, can I get you a glass of water? Oh, I see you didn't drink anything for a while. Hydration's really good for you. Sorry to bug you, but would you like to have something to drink? Oh, would you like to have some tea time? I can have tea time with you. Anything you need to do to get the client to drink water is imperative. It is so important. If a client is not drinking water for a while, and you try different things and nothing's working, you need to reach your leaders. You need to get a hold of someone and explain the situation so that they can help you. You also need to, when you're doing your notes, talk about how much the client's drinking, if the client is drinking a lot or not. Also look at other supplements. Maybe the client wants it to taste a little better. You can offer the client such thing as magnesium Calm or other additives that can make the water taste better. But you have to realize a body cannot function and will die without water. And with lack of water, a body will not function properly. So please understand the importance, and understand the importance for yourself as well. Dehydration can make you tired, fatigued, so many other things that are just terrible. You need to be hydrated, your family needs to be hydrated, and the clients need to be hydrated. And feel free to research this yourself. You go to Google and you say natural ways to stay hydrated, or being hydrated naturally. Because there's a lot of good information, there's a lot of bad information online. So make sure you're getting things that work for you, concepts that you understand, and things that make sense. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day, and I hope this has helped.